that symbol in the background, you know, is literally the same symbol as the Deltarune symbol. Yeah. Excuse me. So my second theory on this game. Selen is heavily inspired by the color theory, which I left in the description. So, what is this theory about? This theory is, well, mostly about like Knight, Ralsei, Sans, and Jevil. But we'll get to that later. Considering that all the characters from Undertale do happen to exist in Deltarune, or at some point did exist, all the new characters from Deltarune have to exist some way, shape, or form, or did exist in Undertale. And I have proof for that, and I'm about to bring it out. So here we go. The proof I'm going to be using is, well, I have two things. First one is that the name Susie is mentioned at some point in Undertale. I don't exactly have a screenshot, but I know it's there. And the second point is that Noelle exists in Undertale. And so does Rudy and the rest of the family. And I know that because of the alarm clock app. So I'm going to be reading what's important from the alarm clock app, and I'll see what we find. Rudy loved the holidays, you know? As I walk into his Snowden cottage, a slice of fruitcake on the table, his youngest daughter peeking shyly from the corner. Suddenly, one day, he fell down. Rudy, never able to show you the sun. His daughter's gonna grow up in the sunlight. The youngest has such a kind face. As you saw for that, sob fest, yeah, Rudy and his family do actually exist in the Undertale canon, but you can't see them. So, by that logic, now we're going to move on to the Sans part of the theory. Sans can dodge and teleport. Just, you know, something that Lancer does. Just, you know, and both Lancer and Sans can take people with them. Like in the case of Frisk and Susie. But, yeah, the Queen is Lancer's mom. The Queen can teleport. All Darkeners are able to get in front of you, are able to go in front of you from the castle. So yeah, all Darkeners can teleport, which would make Sans seem like a Darkener. The only thing that's really putting me off is how he's in the light world. We'll get to that later. But here's what I think. Darkeners can teleport. Apparently they bleed, unlike normal monsters. As we saw in Undertale, the Pyrus just turns to dust. Sans bleeds. And they're brothers, apparently. I have no idea how that works, but okay. It's probably going to be a theory for like another time. Just dang it. Anyway, now moving on to the next part of the theory. This right here is our Go Bomb, Toriel. One thing you notice about her in Undertale, she has red eyes. Well, red. Kind of red eyes. You know, and there's something else I noted while I was playing Deltarune. Just, you know, when I got to Chapter 2, thing I noticed. As you can see, Ralsei also has kind of like reddish, kind of pink-looking eyes. It also looks a lot like Toriel. One thing I really noted during Deltarune. You know, what if they're connected in some sort of way? Because, you know, Toriel does have color in her talk sprite in Undertale. She's the only monster to have any color in her talk sprite at all, her eyes. Ralsei has similar eyes, kind of looks a lot similar. What if Ralsei and Toriel are somehow connected? No, I'm not suggesting that Ralsei is Astral. No, that theory is dumb. Dumber than most theories. Here's what I think. But, we don't know much about Toriel's family. One of Toriel's relatives discovered a dark world of sorts? Oh, because that could be possible. Just, anyone can discover a dark world. So the main theory is, Toriel's relative of sorts discovered a dark world. Stayed there for a while, met up with a prince or princess at the time, because Ralsei is currently the prince of the Dark Fountain. Just, there had to be ones before him, for that to even be a thing. Just, they had their legend. Toriel's relative fell in love with prince/princess. They got married and they had a child. But where did they go? I'm pretty sure no one actually asked that, but I'm going to answer the question anyway. So, now here's where the theorizing comes in. Okay, you see this area right over here? There's a bunch of, breathing, piles of ash or something. You know how all the darkness will turn to stone, if the roaring happens? Yeah, there was a theory that this is where the first roaring occurred, which is why Ralsei and Shovel know about it. My question is, by that I mean, what I'm going to answer is how they survived that. Just, let's just say this was a bit before, Gaster, ruined Shovel. Just, Shovel could have been the one, guide Ralsei safety or something like that. Just, and the knight was able to keep it hidden from the citizens. Just, covering up because they were all turned to stone, and he hid the ones that he needed. The ones he didn't need, he left them out to die. Just, that's what I think happened. Now we get into Shovel. Shovel has mentioned knowing about the roaring and the queen. So, judging by, how he describes it, it's like he kind of saw it. He and Ralsei were there during the roaring, possibly at the same time. Shovel could be the reason why Ralsei was able to get away from, the Titans and stuff. They might not know why they were immune to, the whole stone effect. Or maybe they do. I'm not sure. But, still. Yeah. Which also could be another reason why Shovel was locked up. Aside from, killing people and going insane, that this could have been a catalyst. It's because he knew something he wasn't supposed to know. It's like with the Mafia. He knew too much. He knew that a knight was going to cause a roaring. He was going to tell people, but Gaster made him go insane. That's what I think happened. Just something like that. Just, the knight was desperate to keep the prophecy from happening, which also could be a reason why he killed all of those darkness. Because one of them could have been the prince from the prophecy. He needed to keep the prophecy from happening for whatever reason the knight did do that. I don't know why the knight did that. I don't know, the knight probably has some sort of ulterior motives, and probably a bit that we don't know about the roaring. That would just give the knight infinite power or something. Anyways, Ralsei's parents probably tried to stop the roaring. Well, one of them did, because the other one was probably dead during the time. And after healing the fountains and fixing the roaring, well, there was only chaos left. The knight decided to kill said parental figure, so no one could tell anyone what the roaring would cause. Which is why I think this happened. That would explain why nobody else has the title of prince. So the knight wouldn't have as many possible enemies that he would have destroyed, because, that takes a long time. The Prince of the Dark. They didn't specify what the Prince of the Dark would be. In fact, they don't even specify a lot about the main heroes. They just say a human, a monster, a prince from the Dark World. That could be anyone, actually. could happen literally any day where that set of people with those attributes could easily just form a team. Just, so it could be anyone. Which is why the knight had to eliminate as many possibilities as possible. That's why I think the knight could also be working with Gaster, and the reason why the knight was able to not turn to stone is the knight could also be half-lightner, because how else would the knight be able to create dark fountains? Okay, that's my theory on that. Anyway, I'm bad at outros. See you later.
Editing me over here, and I forgot to mention something. What I mean is that they're all half-lightners, Sans, Jeffel, and Ralsei, and of course the Knight. I already did the outro, so I'm not going to do it twice. This is just something I've forgotten to mention. Dang, I'm bad at this.